You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Hell's Kitchen After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Hell's Kitchen After Show.
What they talking about? They talking about that fire.
Are we singing? Are we doing a show tonight?
Who's that in the booth? Welcome. Here we are. Hell's Kitchen, AfterBuzz TV. This is where all Hell's Kitchen fans congregate to talk all things in the Bible of Hell's Kitchen. My name is Leo Quinones. I am so glad that you are here with us, and riding shotgun, the guy I love. He's here, the poet saint himself, Lem Gonsalves. Lem, thank you, man.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I'm so excited.
Why are you excited? I'll tell you why he's excited. This is the only show that brings you the action when it comes to Hell's Kitchen. What do I mean by that? Well, we bring you the people that create the show. Well, that's Arthur Smith, Kent Weed. They're on our hit list, and we're after them. But
Sure
the
are.
chefs on season 12, 13 chefs compete. That's what we're talking about tonight. And we are lucky enough to have in studio all the way, well, the pride of the Inland Empire, about 90 minutes outside of Los Angeles, which is Riverside. She's here tonight, competing, still with it, very strong, had a great episode. Rochelle Bergman.
Yeah.
What up?
Hello, and 90 minutes is very generous. More like 2.5 hours without 91 traffic.
That's all I was gonna say. What 90 minutes? You thought you were in a spaceship?
I was like
Like,
in an
how did you
airplane.
get here in 9 plates?
Two fans, Lem and I.
Yes.
We get to grill
So,
Rochelle.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is.
No, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And stay tuned because Chef Jersey Jess is going to be calling in from the East Coast. So it's going to be another packed episode, and we're very proud to be here. Let's go back to last week.
All right.
Wolfgang Puck rated your pizza. Okay, do you remember what happened? Here's what happened, Lem.
What happened?
Last week on 14 Chefs Compete, the challenge was make a gourmet pizza for Wolfgang Puck. Take it from there, Rochelle.
Okay, well, first off, it is kind of embarrassing when Wolfgang Puck balls up your pizza dough and tosses it over his shoulder. I've been getting a lot of little comments and text messages and
No,
fun things.
really?
Yeah.
What do they say? What do the messages
I'm not allowed
say?
to bring pizza to potlucks.
Oh,
like,
wow.
all sorts of
Wow.
fun things. I'm like, you guys are mean. What you may or may not have seen, though, is I was the only one on the red team that didn't have a partner. So, of course, it's going to take me a little bit longer to
Right.
get my cooking done, to get everything prepped, and to get my pizza over in the oven. There was like one clip of me like behind everybody, let me put my pizza in, somebody move. So I was kind of trying to make
Yeah.
room in the oven. So I was the last one in the oven, knowing like, okay, I have a very limited amount of time to get my pizza dough cooked, and people are moving their pizzas around, so what you're not seeing is, oh, hey, I want to get my pizza done, so I'll kind of push that pizza to the side
Sure.
and put mine in. So their pizzas are getting nice and cooked.
Muscle
and
in, muscle
I finally
out.
got back over there, and it was like all the way away from the fire, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
The politics of pizza.
Already, right?
You know what? We have to say, though, that was pretty intense. And
Yeah. It
was.
I mentioned to Lem, and I said, look, I used to work pizza, and I know it's about 400, 425 degrees. What's the case in Hell's Kitchen, Rochelle? Can you break it down for us?
Well, I mean, first off, it's different. Everyone also was like, pizza, my 8-year-old son can cook pizza, things like that. But in the kitchen, you know, you're doing like a wood fire burning oven, so things you're not really familiar with unless you work in a restaurant that obviously deals with that. So at home, I don't have that in my backyard. Some
Right.
people might. So there's that aspect too.
No one does, just so you know.
Yeah.
No one does.
Some people, okay, good. That's good. I'm not the only one.
Is it
Right.
like a molten lava volcano in
Yeah,
that thing?
pretty much. It's just like you can feel the heat like burning your face. I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
this is gonna be super fun. So there's that aspect of Hell's Kitchen, and then plus just like the timing. You know, you don't realize with the show, like watching it from the outside, like previous seasons, you know, like oh my gosh, how can they not do that?
Right.
But when you're in that pressure and you don't know who's gonna be the guest judge, but there are possibilities, people going through your mind. Plus, just Chef Ramsay. Anytime you bring food up to Chef Ramsay, it's like, okay, there's pressure, and that pressure, sometimes you freeze. I mean, I spent a good 10 minutes thinking, like, what kind of pizza am I going to make? Going through all these different possibilities. I mean, you have endless amounts of food in front of you, and sometimes that's almost worse. If they gave everybody, like, 8 ingredients and was like, make something, but when you have just, like, a buffet of different types of pizzas, you spend so much.
To kind of hone in.
Yeah, spend so much time, like, what can do this? Or no, what about this? Or what about this? And then you realize, okay, I have, like, 15 minutes left. What am I going to do? So you have that aspect, too, and just, again, that pressure of cooking for Chef Ramsay alone. I mean, he's such an amazing chef. So.
And you were walking the plank too on the polenta. You nailed it, right? You nailed your polenta.
I know, and it's so funny too because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get people from the South being like, polenta. My 5-year-old son can get polenta, and I was like, going on the show, I was like, what's polenta? And I was like, we don't have polenta in the IE.
It's not allowed.
Yeah, I know. And so again, same thing. I was like, I've never cooked this before, and it might be easy to a lot of people, but I've never done it. And to bring up anything to Chef Ramsay that you've never done is so stressful, and you have so much anxiety because A, you don't want to get yelled at, but B, you just have so much pride in him just as a person, and I look up to him.
One and they appreciate.
Yeah,
One thing
exactly.
that I was interesting in talking, going back to the pizza, is even with the debacle that happened, unfortunately, yours was picked over the other group.
Yeah,
and
I'm not gonna lie. I
so
got at least
you had
5 points.
it looked good, but it just
I mean, honestly, I feel like if it would have got maybe 5 extra minutes, or if I would have got my pizza maybe,
or if it was in the oven, correctly.
Put it in the oven. Well, and then the other thing you didn't see is Jess and Joy were on the same team, but instead of working on the same pizza, they actually were making 2 separate pizzas. So they took up an extra space in the oven. So if one of their pizzas wasn't in there, like, my pizza could have been in there longer to cook too. And so they kind of pulled it out. And I don't know why they turned in the half-shapen, like, half pizza.
What did I call it? Amoeba? It looked like an amoeba or something?
Something.
It was
They were
crazy.
like, the skinny girl's pizza. I was like, I don't think anyone will eat that. But, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't remember exactly what their other pizza was, but again, making 2 different pizzas, that's an extra pizza that could have, my pizza could have been done,
Well, now let's get into this one. This is 13 chefs compete, of which you are one standing proud and strong. Okay, so you're standing there, and you never know who or what is going to enter Hell's Kitchen. It's been thought out months before, and you're just there, and all of a sudden, boom, collegiate madness. Take us back to that very moment.
Craziness. Well, I mean, we definitely had an idea it was going to be something big going down there. I mean, anytime you get closer and closer to Black Jackets, closer to the end, I mean, the things get more intense. I've seen the show. But yeah, when all those girls ran in, I was like, oh, this could be dangerous. Like, are we going to cook immediately for all those people? I mean, there's just so many different possibilities that go through your mind. And then I went to UCR. I was like, they had some sororities, but I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't know if I get really along with sorority girls. So there was that aspect too, where we're just like, oh, please don't be mean to us.
So Gordon throws down the challenge, and these young ladies were thinking, Southern, nothing but Southern. Give us our Southern good food.
Yes.
So okay, let's break it down. You have 40 minutes, and how do you keep the sanity with that? Tell us the process from beginning to end.
Well, right off the bat, the time constraint thing, I mean, 40 minutes seems like eternity, but in the kitchen, it goes by so quickly. I mean, you're talking about what dishes we want. Again, plethora of food in front of us.
Buffet.
So it's like, what should we do? I mean, he gives us a little bit of guidelines, like a fish dish, a chicken dish, things like that. And for me, I was like, well, I know how to make polenta. So, hey, I'm good. I'm covered. But no, I mean, Keisha, our girl, Mississippi, I was like, you're in charge. By all means, delegate, let us know. This is your area of expertise. Like, go for it.
So did that happen organically? Like, did you kind of all just
definitely.
submit
I mean,
to
we all
the
just kind
powers
of were like, and go. Like, we all just kind of were like, and we have a Southern girl. Perfect. So, yeah, she definitely did good, throwing out ideas, dishes that she knows, she's familiar with. And we just kind of like, hey, what can I do for that dish? What can I help make it there? So, it's fun.
So, actually, Keisha was running around station to station, and you were just taking her tips?
Yeah, she was, again, we kind of decided, like, what plates, what's going to go with what, what chicken with the greens and this kind of there. And so from there, we each kind of were delegated to, like, one of those dishes and decided to cook, what was there. And she would come around, taste it, like, oh, no, this needs a little bit more of this. Hey, this is how it is at home. So she did a really good job taking that leadership role. She should, because she, that, again, is familiar with that area. But, yeah, I was proud of her.
What about Chef Ramsay during that 40 minutes? Do you see him? Does he bolt to his trailer?
Yeah.
What's really going on during
He's
it?
just off in the back with a cocktail.
No, he's not.
Hey, he's the chef. He can do whatever he
can do
wants.
whatever he
I mean,
wants.
really.
Yeah, right. He's walking. What he does is he just walks through the blue kitchen, through the red kitchen, over your shoulder. What are you doing right there? What's going in there? And you're just like, no, I don't even remember what it's
I'm
called.
making polenta.
Like, yeah,
Leave me alone.
polenta. I remember you liked it last time.
It's tough, right? It's
Yeah,
harrowing.
It is. And
Describe it.
Again, that's like one of those things where people like, look at the show and they're just like, oh my gosh, these amateur cooks, like, why are they even on the show? But when you have like one of your mentors, one of these people that you look up to, just like over your shoulder glaring. I mean, most people at their regular jobs would have a hard time if their boss was like, okay, what you got going on over here? But you know, when this person who you're obviously striving to work for, so it is a potential boss, is over you, plus the years of experience and expertise that he has in you. I mean, he could be like, you're stirring that wrong. And you're like, oh, sir, show me how to stir it right, you know? So there is just that constant pressure in the kitchen.
He will be a part of your dish, like, and put his thumbprint on it?
Well, he'll come by and he'll be like, you know, okay, well, not so much in the challenges, like certain
Sure.
aspects, but he definitely will walk through and just be like, okay, you know, and you're like, oh, was that a kind of okay? Like, should I just scrap it and try again? So there's that like underlying kind of thing. And
Well, it's interesting because, you know, in times past, Leo, when we've had these guests, they all kind of say the same thing. Like, it's not your normal type of work environment.
Yeah.
Like, it is Hell's Kitchen for a reason. Chef Ramsay is there, and you have all these people that you're trying to please him, and you got this time, and everything's going haywire. So I understand what you're saying. I mean, I haven't been there, but I can understand what you're saying in the tone that it's got to be crazy.
yeah, and definitely, I mean, they don't call it Hell's Kitchen for anything. I
Right.
mean, you're walking through hell to get this job.
Producer Steve, you know, if Gordon Ramsay was gonna rip Rochelle Bergman a new one, what would Chef Ramsay say to Rochelle? Do you have any idea?
What do you think you're doing? This pizza is raw! It's raw! You know what a crust is called? A crust is a hard layer on the earth. Why would it be raw?
I don't know. He had some good ones for me. I was actually happy that they haven't shown. I'm a laugher, so when I get nervous, I giggle, and it's just like totally by default. And I remember at one of my jobs, I've never got complaints, but someone actually wrote to the corporate office, and they told them how unbecoming it was of me, of a woman, to laugh hysterically. And I was like,
Really?
so they kind of pulled me aside and they were like, okay, Rochelle, you gotta be a little more serious. And I was like, I just can't control it. When I get nervous, I just laugh. And so in the beginning, the first couple episodes, his default before to some people were like, you effing donkey. And to me it was, you effing hyena. Do you think it's funny now? And I would be like, no, sir, it's not funny. Like, then it makes you want to laugh more. And I was
Right.
like,
So,
oh, I'm gonna cry.
In the stressful situation, you splinter off into laughter.
I don't know why. It's just like a default, which is like so not good to Chef Ramsay. He's
Oh.
just like, get out of the effing kitchen. And you're like,
Right.
no, good sir.
And then you get like an English accent.
I
that you
do.
get?
I don't know
really?
why. When I get nervous, sometimes I'm just like so bad because then he thinks you're mocking him. And I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Wow, that's funny.
So don't do that. Just FYI, if you ever work with Chef Ramsay.
You did have a fail on scallops. And what's it like
Okay.
having Gordon Ramsay jump down your throat? What's that like?
Well, it's definitely not fun. I could say avoid it at all costs for anyone that works for him
Sure.
or potentially sees him on the street. You know, I know how to cook scallops and everyone does, but again, in that pressure, in that moment, like he didn't say they were too cold or they were too spongy or any of those things. He said there wasn't enough color, which means a little bit longer, a little bit more sear on the outside. And
Right.
I knew they were cooked fine. I just had so much, and he's, you know, yelling at you, where are the scallops? Where are the scallops? And you're just like, sir, just take whatever you want. Just
Right.
please don't yell it to me. And so you just give it to him without like thinking and looking at him like, okay, this needs 15 more seconds to get a
Right.
good sear, get a good color. And one side had a great color, just flipped it over. I just need that like nice little touch. So I was just like, I feel so stupid. And then he gave him back to me. I finished him, you know, did him again. And that whole night too, a lot of times Joy was actually helping roll out dough. We were partners, so I actually got stuck with the fish station pretty much by myself a lot of the night. So I think there was that like little bit of a pressure too. It was my first time on the station, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But yeah, anytime Chef Ramsay yells at you for a mistake, that's not good.
All right, let's bring it back into this challenge
right.
here. So I'm telling you, Keisha with the stare of death here. I mean, she had some. Lem and I laughed at one of her reactions. I mean, it was kind of a cackle, was it not?
Yeah, no, she was looked like she was not possessed, but it was like she had this death like look to her, like you know what I'm saying? Like somebody like is gonna scare you. Like you think you're gonna get scared, but then you don't get scared, but then you still get scared at
Yeah.
the end. It's kind of like one of those crazy things.
What are the quirks that you remember from Keisha?
Oh man, I actually really, really loved Keisha. Her personality was so inviting and wonderful about her, and it was funny because she actually was really good at, like, you know, before service, like, getting us together, and, like, even we'd pray before we started and just be like, you know
dope.
what, yeah, like, you know, give us strength, give us peace, like, just get us directed for the service. But then, you know, she's also one on the other side where you kind of poke her and she's like, oh no, you do not.
Right.
So here we are, like, praying, like, hey,
Yeah.
Lord, just, like, help us get through service, like,
Right.
don't let Chef Ramsay yell at us,
Right.
like, all these things. And then someone will say something to her and she's like, oh no, Jesus, get out of the way,
Right,
I'm not getting
right.
crazy
Move
with
over,
someone.
Jesus.
Yeah. And so that was kind of like funny seeing her personality. But yeah, I mean, she obviously can cook and do a great job, but when people like question her, threaten her, I mean, she did that good hands. So I was
Slamming on
like,
the,
oh,
table,
I
yeah.
understand her good side. Like,
So it's time to taste the food, and the 3 college girls are there. She goes, "There's going to be a lot of alumnies here." I believe the term is alumni. I'm just going to say, you know, there's going to be a lot of alumnies here.
She did say alumni, huh?
Yeah.
She sure did. She may not be graduating.
She's still
Sorry.
in college.
Wait, I was like, what school is this?
Hey guys,
She's not English
actually
major.
she's actually the valedictorian.
Stop it.
no
Wow. It's like
So-
community college or something.
Producer Steven looked her up,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
during the episode, so
Right,
he's
right.
got the whole bio sheet
Oh,
ready to go
man.
on
He's
her.
got it.
All right, so let's say the chicken was Keisha versus Jason, and again, Keisha seemed to be at home with that.
yeah, I mean, it's something that she cooks, maybe not daily, but weekly easy. Fried chicken. And me, in Inland Empire, you know, I've cooked it maybe once, twice at home. So it's not something that I do. But Keisha, I mean, she knows how to cook this chicken. So it was really frustrating when it was kind of not being cooked. But I know with fried chicken.
Yeah. Challenge though. Challenge though.
challenge-wise.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're challenged.
We're still going
Yeah,
like
you guys
this
were
one.
nailing it. So
Oh, I
let's
was all
talk about
jumping.
let's talk about Chef Jersey Jess, who's calling in just a few minutes,
man.
and Gabriel with their shrimp dishes.
That was I was looking at that and I was like, okay, they both look good. And I will say, as far as the whole, you know, that whole challenge, I don't think anybody was horrible. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think either team was like, this is going to be bad. I think, you know, it seemed like when they ate the dishes, the girls that were there, they seemed to enjoy both of them.
Yeah,
and it was like,
definitely.
it seemed like every time it was close.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of shrimp and grits. Like, I love shrimp and grits. My family is from the South, so I've had that ample times, and I'm hungry right now because I'm thinking about it, and I haven't eaten yet. So yeah, I wish I could have had some of that. But anyway, it looked pretty good.
And then we moved on to those beautiful ribeyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And when these challenges are happening and the suspense, Lem and I are freaked out. Okay, we're, you know, and then
Terrified.
Rochelle was in there in the mix. Tell me about the suspense, real time, being in Hell's Kitchen for these challenges.
Well, I think what so many people don't realize is they think maybe, oh, it's rigged, or they cut and paste, so there is that type of suspense, but it really sometimes comes down to like the last dish or that one point. Maybe just by luck, maybe just the order of the dishes just happened to be lined up that way. So I think, again, we wanted to win so bad. I mean, I wanted to win for Keisha's sake. I'm thinking, oh, she's gonna go home. People are gonna be mad at her for messing up Southern food.
Right.
Especially, you know, being our leader. So I think for me, I was just like, oh my gosh. And it was tough because that last dish, I think the boys plated wise looked a little bit cleaner and a little bit sharper. We had, our plate was a little bit wet. You can kind of see some of the juices kind of going around. And I was like, oh gosh, please don't let these girls even go off presentation. Because, you know, again, they're serving it to all their
Right.
alumnis. No.
So many alumni to serve.
So many alumnis.
So many alumni.
Well, we're going to find out if the Red Team alumni's won. Well, they did win, and we're going to talk about your trip to Vegas right now.
Yeah.
But first, we got to take a second, just say thank you so much for the outpouring of Hell's Kitchen love. Lem, how about it? It's been incredible.
Dude, it's been amazing, and we just thank you when you make comments and you give us feedback about what we do here. I mean, we are the super fans. This is the #1 Hell's Kitchen after show in the world.
Done.
And so we love when you give us feedback. We love the 5-star ratings. They're amazing. So please keep doing that. Keep asking us on Twitter. All of that stuff. We love it.
It's iTunes. It's free. You know, it's
Absolutely.
You can take it with the car. You can take it on a jog. Me, it's the center of any party. This is a great show. So it's Lem, Rochelle, myself, along with you, and we thank you for the great iTunes downloads. It's been phenomenal. If you want to watch it on YouTube as well,
Yes.
send it to a friend. And while I have the floor, Chasing Maria Menounos, I'm telling you, Tuesday nights, 8 Central.
10, 9 Central.
10, 9 Central on Oxygen. It's got me. It's got me, Lem. It's
an amazing show.
I'm pulling for Kevin Undergaro.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I love Maria Menounos. We wouldn't be here without Maria Menounos. But Kevin Undergaro is the underdog. He's the everyman. And he had to go to the, he had a sperm sample and he got it tested. And it gets really kind of, you know what I mean. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Chasing Maria, that's the hashtag. And it's on Oxygen, 10, 9 Central every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Really great. So you win.
Yay!
Red wins. All right.
Da-da-da-da! Woo!
And the guys won previously. You get to go to a pool by yourself. Okay? Okay. There's 8 guys who shouldn't be wearing shorts, chefs, and they're, that's the fine and dandy. The yoga challenge, a little creepy.
Yeah, a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a fail. That was a fail.
Hey, I just wanted to say that yoga instructor. Run.
Yeah,
Get out. All right, so Gordon Ramsay says Las Vegas.
Oh my! I think I actually picked up Sandra and spun her around. You didn't see it, but we were so excited. A lot of these girls that are coming from other places out of California, again, first time in California, first time seeing the ocean over here,
Right.
first time to Vegas. So for us, it's a couple-hour drive.
For Riverside, California, that's like happy hour.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
right? We'll just go and come back. Yeah, so many times doing overnight trips.
Come on
so I
now.
was like, okay, but I mean, still being able to go, and then of course, when he says you're staying the night at Caesar's Palace.
Whoa! Wait a minute. There's a plane ride.
There is.
Take us on
Going too fast.
I want to fly. I want to fly on the plane. What happened on the plane, Rochelle?
Lots of fun stuff. Actually, it was so funny too. We're getting ready to board, and there's a lot of really cute girls everywhere. And I was like, oh, why is everyone dressed all fancy? And apparently, a lot of girls fly over, do their little dancey stuff, and then fly back to LA. Had no idea this stuff goes on.
Oh, wow.
They're called stripper alumnis. Come on.
There we go. I should have known better.
Come on
I was
now.
like, why are there all these cute people on our plane?
Rochelle, get
I
it
know,
together.
I'm so
Get your
sorry.
life together.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, just on a side note, I was like, oh wow.
And there's no pressure of Hell's Kitchen, is there? Because it
No.
said there. I mean, wait a minute. When was the next service? When you were on the plane? How many hours to the next service?
Let's see, we're going on the plane, we're staying the night, we have to fly back. So yeah, we got 2-3 days. I'm like, let's relax,
Oh my
hang
God.
out.
Is booze really flowing?
Well, and then it was a Wednesday or whatever day it was, Thursday night, whatever.
Right.
We're it's free little mini shot glasses on the plane. So all the girls are like, hey, while we're here.
Turn up, turn up.
We have a couple days till we're cooking
Fun,
again.
who's a fun drunk?
Oh man.
Besides you.
Yeah, right. Oh gosh. All of them.
Any emotions? Just add alcohol.
Yeah, you know what? Jess, she's a funny one. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Jess.
Yeah. while we're in Vegas.
Oh,
man.
shoot. We got something to talk about. Oh, yeah.
Jess, when you call in, please don't get mad.
Yeah, right.
What's your drink, Rochelle?
Oh, you know what? I'm not a big drinker anymore, but back in college, I just Patron. It was so good. Just little sips with a straw, maybe. I don't know.
With
That
a
was just
straw?
my thing. With a straw.
Oh,
Not even sure. It
okay.
was just that good. I liked
That's how they
I
do it
don't
in
know.
Riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sip Patron with a straw.
She's an alumni now.
Right, exactly. She doesn't do
No,
it
but
anymore.
I don't
Okay,
drink.
so thank you for the play-by-play on the plane with the strippers.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fantastic.
Tangents.
We want detail here.
Okay.
So now it's a beautiful. It's Gordon Ramsay steak, Caesar's Palace. My first question: did Caesar really live there?
Yeah, he was there.
What was that welcome like?
That was funny.
That was intense. I think one of the things, just walking up and seeing everybody staring at us was definitely pretty awkward. I'm not one to like lots of attention, and
Really?
yeah, you would think.
You're on a TV show. I don't like attention. I'm on a TV show. Millions of people watch me.
Exactly. I don't like attention
Maybe
at
in real
all.
life. Okay.
Come on now.
I think. Wait a minute. It says here attention whore. I don't know what that means.
I know.
What prompted you to jump into Hell's Kitchen and become part of it?
You know what? I was really nervous because I've seen the show and I was like, oh no, I would not do that to myself. Like, I'm not
Right.
that dumb. But then, I was like, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Opportunity for me to meet Chef Ramsay, for me to work with so many amazing chefs around the country and just kind of experience something new. And so for me, that was
Peep
like
out
one
the
of
red
the
jacket,
reasons.
everybody. Peep out the red jacket.
Yeah.
As she's talking.
Yeah, for a shy person, a TV show. I don't know.
Right.
I know, right? I'm so silly.
So the door opens, and I really felt a little emotional there when Christina from Hell's Kitchen season 10, the champion, was there. Described that door open and not knowing who was going to be there.
Well, I was in the back because I'm like the freakishly tall person on the team, almost
Sure.
6 foot, and so I'm like always in the back of things. So I see everyone just like bolt through the doors, and I'm like, someone's there. I was like, is
Right.
Chef Ramsay gonna dine us in Vegas? I was like, yeah.
God, it's like Girls Gone Gordon.
Right.
I know, right? Dang it.
Hell's Kitchen,
that girl.
the after show, after the episode.
Well, no, I mean, you guys saw in the first episode, we
Right.
actually go out with Chef Ramsay.
Right,
He
right,
allows you,
right.
please call me Gordon, please.
Yeah.
And, gets to know you and actually, like, ask things about your life. And so he's actually, like, a really cool guy. I was like, can we be friends in real life?
Right.
Like, I'll come to your place in England. No big
Right.
deal. I'll visit you.
I got the accent down and everything.
Oh, and by the way, if there was a 70th camera underneath the table at the judges' table, that college alumniist was playing footsies with Gordon Ramsay.
Someday, I know. That was so intense.
She was turned to. I mean, I was looking at her and I was like, okay. And my question to you is,
Do it. Okay, you be the college girl. You be Gordon.
Okay. Hey. How you doing? How you doing?
more blinks, more
Right,
blinks.
right. She blinked like 100
You
times.
could tell from where
Yeah.
you're standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. We were like, is this for real?
So that's my
This
question,
girl's
because it was
serious.
like it was very on as they showed it on the show.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
very
yeah.
very
It
blatant.
was
But was
not-
it?
Cut, where she was just like, I have
No.
something in my eye, and then
No.
they made it. No,
She
it
was
like,
really going in.
She was like, oh, it's so good on my
Right.
tongue.
Right.
How was it? Keep going.
Another.
Yeah.
He's Gordon. He's Gordon.
Yeah, so
She
I was
was-
like, oh, this girl's for real.
Yeah, she was. There it is. She wanted to cabbage patch with Gordon. She wanted to make something.
You know what? He did tip her $20, which I thought was very hot.
Yeah. Was she part of the? Was she on the plane going to Vegas? Like
Yeah, she was
afterwards?
like,
Was she
hey,
part of?
I just saw
Hey, I
you."
just saw you at the. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So again, Las Vegas. This dinner, okay, with Gordon's mentor, Guy Savoy. You have to give us a little bit of what that culinary experience was like. Were you guys hammered by then?
Yeah, we had
Right.
a little bit of champagne. No,
Come on.
we weren't. We went in the back of the restaurant. We got to meet him, meet his staff, kind of just see how the kitchen is, which is a good experience because for me, I've actually never worked in a restaurant before. Hell's Kitchen is the very first restaurant I worked in, so for me, I'm like, seeing all this is kind of interesting. It's giving me new insight. But yeah, first off, the meal in and of itself, like we kind of all took a little peek at like the menu pricing right outside, and it was like $795 a person.
Oh, shoot.
I was like, oh, this is for real.
Oh,
Like this
this
place is expensive.
They're not playing games.
No.
Hell's Kitchen doesn't play games.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna treat you guys right. I was like, okay.
$7.95 a person. How many of you were there? 7, 8, 6?
Yeah, something 7 of us, I think.
Wow.
So it was.
Well, I want to say something about that, the $7.95. I think because part of it is the touching that you get from the chef.
Yeah.
I think maybe they include that.
Yeah,
Like a
so, that was
massage?
like the
Yeah,
extra one
I
who's
think.
like behind Keisha.
Yeah,
like, I
he was
like,
giving
get
Keisha the
special.
business. Like, was he doing that to everybody, or was
No.
Keisha got special
All right.
treatment?
1 to 10. 10 being, wow, that's inappropriate. Where was Guy Savoy's handling? Because you're ladies' intuition.
Yeah.
You're all in a circular, you're in a round table. You
Right.
know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what he's feeling. Tell us.
Yeah, maybe like a 6 or a 7.
Really? Oh, shoot! Guy Savoy is turned
like,
up.
hey,
We need that music again, Steven. We need that
Yeah,
again.
it was. We were all like, because he would come and then he'd go.
there it
he
is.
was like, hey.
Touching, you know.
How you doing? You want some more sauce? Yeah, I see that sauce, girl. That was hilarious.
Because he would go back in the kitchen. We're like, Keisha. She's like, oh, I'm gonna stay in Vegas.
Right? Yeah. This is my new home.
Yeah.
I've got a job
Forget
for you.
Mississippi.
It's not in the kitchen. All right, here we go. Then they leave us in the dark. They leave us in the dark because we don't know about your night in Vegas. And I think every Hell's Kitchen fan watching right now wants some specifics about where you went, what you drank, who you drank with.
Oh, man.
I know that once it's in Vegas, it stays in Vegas. That's bull on the Hell's Kitchen after show. Tell us about that night.
Well, we did pretty much stay at the Caesar's Palace because there's so much to do there anyways. But where Jess is going to kill me, one of the funniest things is besides Guy Savoy being a gentleman with Geisha, his sous chef was a handsome fella. And so Jess accidentally left her shoes at the restaurant so she can kind of go back down and talk to him. It was like the funniest thing ever. So I don't know what happened. But yeah. It was,
You didn't see her
Oh, no.
anymore? Oh, shoot! Turn up.
we'll have to ask her when she calls in.
We got
but-
a lot of stuff for her, don't we?
I forgot my shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how'd you walk back to the hotel room without You just
Right.
notice when you get up here.
Is that
Oh, man.
Is that a common female ploy?
She said she's done it before. So
She's
she
she's
knows.
cool at this.
She knows.
She's serial about it.
yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
I know,
Yeah.
it is. All right.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so that's one thing that happened. How late did you stay up? Who stayed up the latest? Come on, Rochelle, you have to. This is not part of any kind of Fox thing or Hell's Kitchen. This is just between us chickens. Just between us chickens a clucking.
Okay, no big deal. You know what? I don't know. We were split up. We had
Gambling,
a huge
smoking,
suite,
flirting.
a huge suite, and it was like a 5-bedroom suite. So
wow.
everyone was everywhere. So we were split like 2 in this bedroom, 2 in this bedroom. So we go in ours, we hang out, we relax. I have a fiance, so I was like, I'm staying in.
I'm not going
gonna
anywhere.
trouble.
Right.
So I just hung out, I think, with Bev. We were partners a lot in the group, so I
Okay.
think me and her just kind of stayed out. So I can't honestly speak for anyone else, what anyone else did.
When
but
the 5 bedrooms, so 5 of you, right? Is that right?
there's like 7 of us. There was
7,
like 2,
okay.
maybe it was like 4 bedroom, but it was a huge
Seven
suite.
on the red team. In the morning, how many people were there?
There was like 5. They had to do search parties.
Oh shoot! Turn up.
All right. With that said, the flight back, the guys didn't have really a punishment. They had to be around a bunch of girls.
That was
Ralph-
that was a
know.
punishment.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think if you come off as a sore loser, you could make it worse. Like Ralph made it worse by being rude to the
Right,
girls.
right.
Hey, you know what, little pit bull, we
Yeah.
want you back on the show. And
Yeah.
I just thought that wasn't called. I was uncalled for.
Well, it's funny when I've seen this in previous seasons where if it is like whether it's I've seen like with a high school or a college and then they're in charge of like forcing them to decorate.
Yeah.
I feel like personally that the people that are kind of orchestrating everything kind of put a little extra onto the losers.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, from hearing what the guys said about it, like you saw them move the tables
Right,
like again
right,
and again.
right.
And they were like, we just felt like they were doing it just to be jerks.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
were building that resentment. They're like, we moved tables for like 2 hours.
Right.
Like it should have taken like 20 minutes. And so
Exactly.
I was like, that sucks. And then like the glitter and the decorations, they're like, I'm not foo-foo. I don't like to do that kind of
Right.
thing. Whereas like if I did that, I'd be like, okay.
Right. Exactly.
Turn it all girly.
It doesn't seem like a tough thing to me. I mean, what was your worst punishment so far? Was it carrots?
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? Actually, to be honest, I kind of enjoyed it. Like,
Okay.
I
Really?
like going to farms. I like
Okay.
kind of doing that. I grow my own little vegetables in my patio backyard. So
Can I name drop real quick?
Handle it.
All right. Sunday I had lunch on a farm, hand grown and served by Chef Holly Ugaldi,
Okay.
season 7 champion.
Yeah.
Really?
Beets, carrots, tomatoes, lettuce.
And you just neglected to call me.
Yes. No. It's just I had a gig out there. She lives out in the Inland Empire around the Beaumont area, which is
Yeah.
kind of close to Riverside, about a half hour.
a
or
little
something.
bit farther out.
Yeah, exactly. So there was my name drop. Boom. Sorry about that. All right.
No
well,
worries.
listen. Now it's time for dinner service. Now, what are those classic lines? Jean-Philippe, open up Hell's Kitchen. Let's go. Yes.
There it is.
Keisha impersonation. Lead us in a prayer. How does she do it?
Oh, you know what?
What you remember? The best you.
So many things. I mean, it was mainly just like, Lord, give us strength to get through this day. Help us just find focus, stay motivated. Help us obviously be positive towards one another. Just give us that strength that we need. I mean, for both of us, like our biggest thing was like in Philippians, like I can. How does it go?
I can do all things through Christ that
Yeah, who
strengthens
strengthens me. And then
Oh, yeah.
just in different ones, there's another one too where like through prayer and repetition, like the peace that surpasses all understanding. Those things like where you're just like focused and you ask the Lord just to kind of give me that strength, give me that peace. Because for me too, like some people didn't realize like it's such a stressful show. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, please pray for me so much. Because during those situations, like you may lose your cool. You may want like, okay, girl, psh, like we're
Right.
gonna stab
Right.
people with these sharp
Right.
knives in the kitchen.
Right.
And I did. I had like the craziest sense of peace like the whole time. And I think that was an advantage towards me. Like
Sure.
even praying with Keisha before, like I snuck in my little Bible and I was
Right.
like, okay, I'm gonna pray.
Where?
Before I go to sleep. Secret places, my shoes, my soul. No, and for me, because I was just like a big part of it, it was just like, okay, I want to stay cool, calm, collected. Because as much as the drama is like a big part of the show, like when it comes down to it, like I want Chef Ramsay to see in me that I could
Right.
be his head chef. So as much as like you might want to fight with someone, you still have to act in a professional way. And so I think for me, like having God give me that strength and that peace throughout it was an important thing.
It's interesting
So-
you say that too because in my notes I have here, I don't remember that you've ever been put up. up to this point. I don't also remember that you ever been in any major drama.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like it's great that you have that. Do you think that by doing that, praying and meditating and reading your word, do you think that helped you kind of through that up to this point?
I think it did. And the one time I actually kind of got put up was in the beginning when I was really sick, and I think that was like
that's right.
That was like a hard part. So I actually didn't have to walk up, and
Right.
Chef Ramsay was kind of like, well, that's kind of stupid.
Right.
I was like, thank you, good sir.
Yeah.
You know, like,
There's
I
the
think
English
so
again.
too.
Thank you, good
I
sir.
know,
Tip
dang
my
it.
hat.
Gentleman fella. I
Right.
like you. No, and so for me, like, just kind of going into it and realizing, like, obviously, like, I conduct myself in a professional manner, and I try to, even on the show and in real life, because you have to have that sense of integrity. And so I think that was one of the things on the show where people are like, every day, are they really that crazy? Are they really that scared? And I'm like, oh, you only saw 45 minutes of it. Try living
Right.
with these people for like 24
24/7.
hours,
Oh, yeah.
however many weeks we're filming. Like, it's scary.
Right.
What about the seclusion? And all you have is the backs of the red team and the ones who are going to stab you in the back. How was it like being secluded in Hell's Kitchen, Rochelle?
Well, I think one of the things we try to talk about, like in the beginning with the girls' teams, like, on our time when we're like eating lunch or just hanging out, or even on punishments, like some of the things that we got in the beginning was, okay, we're gonna try just as a team. As long as we're wearing these red jackets, before whoever gets to the black team, like, let's support each other as a team. Because if we do good as a team, they're gonna keep sending home those blue jackets, and then, hey, or half our team now, we're in black jackets, and we can go far. So I think that's an important part of the show, is like working together and realizing, hey, I'm not gonna try to throw you under the bus, because A, it's gonna make me look bad to Chef Ramsay. He's not gonna
Right.
want me to be his head chef, but also it's gonna make our whole team go down. So I think that was an important aspect of being like the teamwork.
Right.
So.
All right, well, let's get into dinner service. This is it. This is the Phi Mu sorority, their 160-year anniversary, and the place looked fun, okay?
Yeah.
But again, the call to the blue team and the call to the red team is basically fried chicken.
Yeah.
So take us there.
Well, again, I'm looking at Keisha like, hey, girl, you got this. Like, you know how to cook fried chicken. But we do. We're each at different stations throughout the night.
It started out good.
We did. We started off good. We got some appetizers. A little bit hard off with the
The crab cakes and
crab
grits.
cakes, thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
That was slow on the crab.
And you know what? To be perfectly honest, like, you'll see like later on, kind of through the episode, is I think our fryer, we had a little bit off on the temperature, because I think it was a little bit low in the beginning, and that's why she wasn't cooking them. Like, they weren't getting enough heat throughout the
'Cause
center.
she said they were cold
They
in
were
the middle,
cold.
right.
So,
Is that the fault of the Hell's Kitchen staff, or is that the fault of the chef?
you know what? When it comes down to it, as the chef at your station,
It's your station.
you need to make sure the heaters, all the temperatures are correct, your burners are on, it's salt, not sugar, like all these little things, like you have to make sure is set, because you're accountable at the end of the day for
Right.
that station.
Right.
And so I think for Bev, like, that was the issue. She started off with the fryer, and it was a little bit low, because when you're frying it, you have to wait till it gets the color on the outside, and then test it. If it's not warm enough, throw it in the oven. So we were having issues where she was having to put them in the oven over and over again, because
repeatedly.
they were cold, and pull them out. Nope, not yet. So it was like we started off in the fryer bad, which again rolled over into the fried chicken, because I think by the time she turned it up, we had issues with fried chicken, because you wait till the color, and then you're like, okay, that should be a consistent color, so should have got good cooking. Test it, boom.
I'm making a plea for a meat thermometer. Keisha's got a big finger. Boom! Right into the chicken. Now, what is that?
Hey, that's how they do it in Mississippi. You know that? They don't use thermometers, they use a finger.
I was
It's a
like,
perfect piece of
girl,
fried
like,
chicken, except for the
Right.
boom!
Yeah.
You're sending G home for being like,
Right,
let me taste
right,
this
right,
risotto.
right.
Everybody does it.
Yeah, everybody does it.
I was like, where do you work? Because I ain't going there.
Right,
Boom.
right.
I know. I was like, even at home, I use spoons. Man, that guy.
So it's a whole plate of chicken, and it
Yeah.
was raw and raw.
It's just,
I know.
That's the
man.
one that sends you to the hospital, or worse.
Yeah. So, I mean, chicken's like a big no-no sending raw. I mean, we have women out there, women that have been in the sorority for, like, you don't want to send it out to anybody, but, that was important. And then, so with chicken, I
the
mean.
alumnies we're talking
Yeah,
about. Right.
exactly. But, so these people that, anyways. So, Keisha, I mean, looking at the outside, it's hard to tell with fried chicken, because it's like crispy to feel, because he's big on no thermometers, so you should know by touch, because you're a chef. You're a chef. You should know everything by touch. And yeah.
Jason said that was really hard by
Yeah,
touch.
it
He goes,
was
it's
with-
real hard. It's
With
Yeah,
the fried
with
chicken,
the
'cause
fried
it's,
chicken.
it's the outside, the breading.
How do you know when it's done? Is there a certain test that
Yeah.
Gordon likes?
Yeah.
Now explain to the right here. Maybe we can get that. Get the close up here. I don't know if we can.
There's the thumb
Okay,
test.
hold it up. Okay, so this is how we know chicken's done.
Yeah, well, with any meats, usually. So you're going to squeeze your thumb, and then as you go towards the firmer side of it, you're gonna get to your well done, and then as you
Right.
go softer, well, medium, and then where it's really squishy, that's rare.
That's
but
rare.
realistically,
Oh.
like if you're at home and you're cooking, you're allowed to use meat thermometers. So please use them so,
So
you don't
can
get
you
sick.
can you use that same philosophy with chicken though? Because I feel
It's a little bit harder with
Okay.
chicken. This is primarily for beef, but because
Right.
with chicken, they want it. You should be safe.
Right.
Yeah.
You should be
Right.
safe. But there are ways to feel. I mean, you should be able to feel chicken.
If this
it's
was
like,
Keisha, she'd go
Right.
all the way to my bone. There's just
Right.
bone.
she's like, oh, it's done, it's done. She's stabbing it. with
All
a
right,
fork.
so that was a
Oh, she cracks
disappointing
me up.
first red team volley of chicken, but then the blue team. You don't have any idea what's going on over
we
there.
can hear Chef Ramsay screaming, and I'm like, oh, thank you, because
'Cause they're doing
he's
worse than
yelling
you.
at them, then
Right,
we're
then they're
both
doing
doing
wor-
bad.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like, it's not just us. Something's
Hooray.
going on. And I'm assuming they may have had some issues with the fryer too. I mean, I know Jason can cook, but
Okay.
it's hard with that chicken.
You know what? It happened to each team
Yeah.
once, which is not really acceptable by any stretch of the imagination.
What?
It's but then each team did it again.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
even more than 20.
it was. I don't know if I'm gonna break microphones, but Gordon was like a double. Boom, you know,
Yeah.
and it was like he was so through the roof mad, and
Yeah.
then you're watching this.
Yeah, right there.
and help me out because I'm not a chef by any means. I'm definitely a fan of the show. I'm a fan of food.
Yes.
Love food. But I feel like fried chicken should be easier than some of the stuff that you've cooked
Oh, yeah.
in Hell's Kitchen.
Of course.
I mean, am I
Definitely.
correct in saying that?
Totally correct.
So then what is the problem with
I think,
raw chicken?
I can't speak for the blue team because I have no idea what they were doing over
Right.
there, but we definitely had some issues with ours. Again, maybe you'll see later with one of the issues we put up for elimination. But Keisha was on a partner with Jess, and so
Okay.
Keisha was trying to bread and was trying to fry and then finish them off in the oven and do this, and it's not like, oh, you have one order of fried chicken. He'll walk up and he'll be like, okay, for tabletop number 2 I have 2 fried chickens, 1 beef Wellington, 1 this, and he just like yells it off, and I talk fast and I'm like, oh, he has me beat. So you're like, okay, I have like 15 orders here in front of me to cook, and then you have again that pressure and you mess up one and it backs up everything.
How
So
many
now you're,
tables
like,
are you?
5 tables
How many
behind.
tables are you cooking for at once in Hell's Kitchen?
It depends. I'm not sure.
Because he talks so fast. Do you ever go, what the hell did you just say?
Yeah, oh no. And then he just looks at you like you're retarded and you're like, just kidding. And then it was so funny.
kidding.
So many times when I was like on appetizers or whatever, he would kind of walk over to the blue team and I would run up real quick, look at all the tickets and be like, oh, that's what we have. And I'll run back and be like, he
you-
didn't see me.
Whoa.
This is what we have. And I
The
was like,
secrets of Hell's Kitchen. I love it. I love it.
It's hard because he says it really fast and you're just like, yes, chef.
Right.
I'm not going to say anything else, but yes, chef.
And if he
Right.
goes, what did I just say?
And then you're just like, please don't look at me. Please don't ask me. You're just like, stir. Who are you
Right.
asking? No,
I don't know what
most of
you're
the time
talking
you
about.
can hear. And by like, this episode, you can pretty much catch on. You can speak Chef Ramsay. But the first
But at the
2
beginning,
times in the kitchen,
it was
I was like,
problem.
oh no.
I can't get this.
Like, this is so hard.
Well, Keisha found inspiration in Christina's words. We didn't actually ask you, what was that meeting of Christina, the winner of Hell's Kitchen season 10? What was that like for you?
You know what? It was really cool because one of the things that she was talking about was wanting to give up. Like, she hit a point where she was just like, I want to go home. Like, I want to stop. And for me, I was also there. I mean, I was sick. I had bronchitis. I was on, medication. And I'm like dying, coughing, throwing up, like the whole 9 yards. And I was like, I want to go home. I want to be in my bed. I want to be comfortable.
Right.
Like, I want to give up. Like, I'm done. I was like, it's fine. These people have more experience. These people have worked in the kitchen. Like, I just felt so defeated. And when she was talking about that, and she won, I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not persevere? Why not give it my best and just push through? And so that was like kind of nice for me because I was like, you know what? I've been through hard things. And she kind of pulled me aside. She's like, I heard you were sick. She's like, I was kind of sick on the show
really?
too.
Oh,
She's
okay.
like, I'm sorry. She's like, just, don't give up. Don't give up. And I was like, you know what? Thank you. Like, I really needed to hear that right then because, you don't have like your family. I can't be like,
Right,
Mom, like,
right.
come visit me, or anything like that.
Please.
Yeah, somebody give me a
my
hug.
blinky.
Yeah, I know. So I think that was definitely motivating.
Producer Steve says Jersey Jess will not be joining us.
Oh,
so
stinker! I ratted her out with her shoes.
She must have heard.
so now you can tell the
must have
story.
heard.
Let's finish the story.
No, I don't know. Like I told you, I don't know what she did.
Well, it is the live Hell's Kitchen after show, so we'll see what
She heard
happens.
me. Dang it.
We'll see what happens there. But on the heels of you not quitting, on the heels of you being inspired by Christina, Gordon Ramsay gave you praise. Now we were with you, Lem and I were with you. It had to be. We were proud. We met you an hour before. But
Right.
how does that feel?
You know what? Anytime Chef Ramsay gives you praise, it's kind of an amazing feeling. Because again, he knows the ins and the outs of this industry. He knows how to cook everything and do it properly. And so for me to get praise too, I think was a little bit different because I haven't been working in the industry long. I've never.
You said you have not.
I have not. I've never worked in a restaurant. I mean, I got out of culinary school like a year before I aired the show. You know, I started my catering company right away because I was like, you know, I want to do little weddings. I want to do these things. I would like to pursue this. So for him to give me praise, you know, was definitely like, wow, this is why I'm here. This is why I would like to be trained by you. I'd like to get your insights. I would like to have your praise. For him to say something positive about my cooking, my personality, anything like that is.
What switched on in that moment?
You know what? I think it's just that motivation, you know, like lighting that flame under the fire, just that spark, and you're just like, okay, boom, I got this, and kind of going from there.
and bailing out Bev, I mean, that's kind of like you said, you guys room together.
You know what?
And the
Yeah,
thing.
and I love Bev. She has such a great personality. So like, don't worry about it. Like,
Right.
just so loving and kind. I mean, you guys have met her. She's been on the show.
Yeah. You said she kind of played the mother role.
Yeah,
as far as all the red
definitely,
team.
absolutely. And I think for me, like, I was like, hey, if you're struggling, like, I'm there for you. I want to help you. And in her defense, like, once I got over there, I was like, oh crap. Like, and it wasn't that garnish is hard. It was the fried chicken. Again, like I said, once you mess up one, it
just the
backs up
spiral
everything.
effect.
Almost every table had a fried chicken dish.
Sure.
And so, like, say this person's fried chicken with maybe this person's like pasta and this person's something else. Once that fried chicken goes down, we have to restart the whole order. So when you're on garnish, you already made your garnish for 4 different things. Trash them, start all over again. Trash them, start all over again.
A lot of food
So,
waste.
Yeah, there's that aspect of it, which really sucks. You know, and so it was just like, oh my gosh, so trying to catch up and then being like, wait, are we doing the same one or the
Right.
next one? Just like making
Right.
sure you're on task. So you know what? It's not that it was hard, but it was frustrating with the chicken dish
With the
aspect
chicken
of it.
problem.
I'll go first. Lem go second. Rochelle, you go third.
Okay.
When Chef said, I don't really see a standout team who's going to win, I had no idea who he's going to say. What about you?
I thought he was going to say both teams lost, personally. When he said there wasn't a standout, I thought he was going to say both teams, you guys lose, you know, go to the dorms, each team picks out 2.
What did you think? You
You
were
know
there.
what? I felt the same way, only because being on our side, you know, I knew we were having raw chicken after raw chicken, but I could hear him screaming, "It's raw!" And I was like, "Oh, thank goodness! Like, there's a chance we'll be saved," you know. And so I really was kind of hoping to it would be both of us, because then, you know, maybe he'll only send one person. Maybe it'll be someone on the blue team. We'll be safe for tonight, because you know you're getting close to these girls as much as they're your competition. Again, you're a team. You're working with them. You don't want to see them go either.
Exactly.
So Gordon says blue team wins. So the blue team automatic autopilot, red team deliberation in the dorms. And so again, let's talk about that conversation.
Oh, that was a rough one. Of course, Bev got thrown out because starting us off on appetizers, yeah, we had that crab cakes. And, oh, we won't even get there yet. Okay, and so Jess had a little bit of a mental breakdown when she got put up for elimination too.
Wait, did you say little?
I was trying to be nice.
I think she was holding her breath.
I know.
She was toe up. I
in
felt
her
like she
defense,
just got a whooping.
I threw out her.
Get her back,
for-
Steve.
For elimination too. And one of my big reasons was when I came over to help. On garnish, I'm working right next to her. And there was at one point where she was, you know, doing the fish for the chicken, and she starts walking up to go give it to Chef Ramsay. And I'm like, whoa! And I like grab the plate from her, and I'm like, where are you going? She's like, I would have put it up. And I was like, you realize, A, you're on the same team as Keisha. Like, you guys are partners at your station,
Right.
so you're not even communicating with her. I was like, but that chicken's raw. It needs like 4 more minutes at least in the oven. I was like, where are you going? So that was my big thing, is not only was she not helping Keisha, but she was just like on her own page. And so I felt really bad because, you know, Keisha, it looked, you know, like maybe on the show that, you know, Keisha, you don't know how to cook fried chicken. But again, she had so much on her plate trying to do it all herself, from like the breading to dropping it to doing this. I mean, we're just, you know, might be doing like the fish aspect of it, you know, which is also maybe a little bit more challenging in its own, but not even communicating with your same partner, just like almost walking her up. And I was thinking, that's going to throw her under the bus.
Right.
Because Chef Rams would be like, where's that chicken? Where's that chicken? And I
Wow.
was like, no. So that's why I had to put Jess up for elimination.
Well, elimination right now, it is time to go over the meat hook elimination ceremony. Walk by the boiling pasta bowl. The guys are safe, the girls, and Chef comes to you.
I know. I'm like, why always me?
All right, Rochelle, first nominee and why?
Well, unfortunately, we have to nominate Bev.
Okay, and the second nominee? Well, and why?
Oh, Bev. Okay, well, we nominate Bev again just for the failure at that station. I mean, she again was struggling in the beginning, and then it kind of kept going. I had to jump over, and it's hard because when they ask you, when Jeff asks you, it's not like you have a teleprompter or you all talked about it. He's asking you, so you have to come up with a reason, almost like at the top of your head, and you're just like, no, I don't want her to go, so no, you know, and it's like one of those things that kind of, and you feel bad because you're like, well, this isn't just my words, like everyone else voted for you too.
It's interesting when you call Bev. I know she had the failure during service, but I feel like, and help me out, it seems like she was pretty consistent throughout, up to this point.
Yeah.
So, and I know that a lot of times when you deliberate, you go on past experiences, not just one service.
We do definitely try to like look over your total all performance in the kitchen, but sometimes when we get down to this many people, it's harder to do that because everyone's kind of on par.
Gotcha,
All right, so Jessica, real quick,
yes,
why?
okay, so we've Jessica, again, like I was saying, she had the failure at the station, that failure to communicate. I mean, we've seen Keisha cook chicken, so I know she knows how to, so there was obviously some other underlying thing at that station that was making it fail.
Bev said, I have so much passion, chef. I know I screwed up on the garnish. I don't cry. I don't break down. And then Jessica said, I'm a fighter. I was homeless a year ago. And then she started cutting the throat of Bev.
I know.
So
for me, that was almost like a shocker. I was like, girl, like, have some class and dignity. Like, she's also your teammate. Like, just because you feel like she shouldn't be here doesn't mean you point out all of her flaws. Jeff Ramsay's asking you why you should stay here, not why the other person should go home. So for me, I thought that was,
a little low blow.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Gordon ultimately gave the axe to Chef Bev from Whittier, California. And we love her. She's been here on the show, and we wish her the best. She's got an amazing business. She's got a great podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
She's really on fire. Gordon said, I don't feel the passion. I do not get it. And Hell's Kitchen is not a food truck. It doesn't have wheels. So we love you. Thank you, Bev, for being on the show. And now let's really look forward and talk about predictions. What's coming up next on Hell's Kitchen? Who's staying? Who's going?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Lem Gonsalves, who's staying? Who's going?
I'm going to say that Joy is staying on the red team. And then I think on the red team going, I think next is Jersey Jess.
All right.
I'm just going with red team. I'm going to leave the blue team alone.
Okay. Give me your blue team.
I just said I was going to leave it alone. Okay, fine. So for blue team, I think, let's see. I think my man with the scruffy voice.
Anton? Testino?
I think he's gonna be safe. And I think I think little man is having some issues.
Ralph.
Yeah, I think Ralph is having some issues.
All right, I think Testino's strong. I think Scott Cummings is going to be the next one who may go. Okay. Sorry if you're going to be booked on the show next week. That's just how I feel. As far as the women, I got to say, this one, not just because she's sitting next to us, but blossoming very well in the season. Rochelle Bergman is very, very strong. Joy's very, very strong. I like Keisha as well. And I think Sandra is out. How do we find you? How do we find you, the Poet Saint?
Me? Well, you can find me, Lem Gonsalves, the Poet Saint, at the Poet Saint, and that's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all day, every day.
Where do we find you, Rochelle Bergman?
All right. I am facebook.com/Chef Rochelle Bergman or on Twitter, Rochelle Bergman.
Rochelle Bergman. And you can find me at Movie Interview on Twitter. And thank you, Roar USA, for the great duds. I wear them all the time. Thank you, producer Steve, for being here. Great Gordon Ramsay all the time. Thanks for the iTunes downloads. They're always free. We'll catch you next week for 12 chefs competing on the Hell's Kitchen After Show. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Get out!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.